please put your hands together. Let's get a nice, big, warm welcome for the one and only Christopher Sabat!
Man, there's something happening at this particular panel that I've never seen before, and I'm not even going to get to see the results of my own handiwork here, but there's live captioning happening on the screen over there, which is really fun. So it's
I agree.
Yes.
Absolutely.
What did it say? Did it say... What?
Skins Christian.
Skins Christian.
Oh, and it's Sunday. Happy Sunday.
Yeah.
All right.
Wow.
Christopher, thank you so much for being here. This is amazing.
Thank you for having me. This is so comfy.
I know.
Like a nice couch.
They gave us the good seats. Absolutely.
Ooh, yeah.
But yeah, this is a great opportunity to just to be able to hear on stage, chop it up with you, speak about your career and your influence on pop culture, and of course your career over the span of how many years that you're now as such an influence and a inspiration to so many. I don't even know where to begin, but I first just really quickly wanted to know how you got started and what was your first role in voice acting.
Well, I was just super lucky that I was going to school at University of North Texas, and it's actually we're in Texas, yay, UNT, yay. And so many of the people who worked at early Funimation days were all UNT graduates. I was never actually a graduate. I was in my senior year, and I got the job working at Funimation at the time, and I had to make a difficult decision. I'm like, do I stay in school another semester or two to get a piece of paper, or do I take this job that paid me like a hefty $20,000 a year? It was amazing. I'm not even kidding. That's what I was paid on salary to work on Dragon Ball Z back in the original days, screaming my butt off for 110, 115 hours a day. So it was a great decision, obviously. And I was on the alumni magazine many times, and I kept going like, I didn't graduate from here, right? And they go, oh, well, it's really more the experience. I'm like, can I just have a degree then or something? Anyway, so I met some people in Denton. It was a person named Carly Hunter. She was a rotoscoper, and it was her job to turn the beer that Master Roshi was drinking into grape juice, and she was the one who had to write frame by frame HFIL instead of hell on their shirts for Gaz and Mez, and I always used to think her job was really cool. And she talked to me one time. She goes, "You do voices and stuff?" I go, "Well, I was on the radio, and I suppose so. And I love prank calling people." She said, "You should go up and audition." And I auditioned for this role. Ended up being Yamcha in a Dragon Ball movie. And then they asked if I would help cast and direct the Dragon Ball Z series. And I said, sure. And then I just cast myself as everything. So
genius.
Actually, at that time, people go, well, why is it that you played so many roles in that show? And it's mostly because of economics. I was only getting paid $20,000 an hour. You sure as heck don't think anybody else was making any money. So it was very difficult to find actors back in those days because the agents didn't want to send people to work on this show because there was nothing like it, and they didn't have a lot of money, and Dragon Ball wasn't that popular yet. And so I just had to use people around the office, and sometimes we would cast somebody, like for instance, I play the voice of Corrin now. I used to be the voice of Mark Britton, but he ended up getting on a comedy tour. And so I just had to take it over really fast. Anytime someone would leave, there was no one else to take the role because we only had 11 people on our cast list. And that's how I ended up with Vegeta and Piccolo and Yamcha, Mr. Popo and Kami and the Dragons and Gazmez, Raccoon, Jace, Zarbon, Icarus, and everyone else who dropped out of the show at one point or another. So
now, is it difficult finding a difference between all these voices, or even remembering the different voices?
Luckily, I'm able to pull up a reference in many cases, but there was a certain point on Dragon Ball where we were working so hard to get that show on TV that I, in my stupidity, was working 12 hours a day, screaming and screaming and screaming on these episodes, and I thought everything was fine. And I managed to see a kid that came up to me at a convention and goes, "Hey, you know what? Your Vegeta voice and your Piccolo voice are kind of sound similar to one another." And I said, "No, they're not." And then I punched the kid, and then no, I was like, that's a really valid point. Thank you for telling me that. And there was a part in the series where all of a sudden I was like way cognizant of what was happening. My voice had just gotten so damaged that like Vegeta and Piccolo were practically one thing. So I tried to push Vegeta a little higher and Piccolo a little lower.
Right. All right, we can go ahead and start lining up now. I'm going to just ask you a couple more things here. One in particular, I had an opportunity at the last convention to speak to Brian Drummond, who is also the voice of Vegeta in the Ocean dub. And there's such a cool moment in Dragon Ball Super where you have Vegeta voices the duplicate Vegeta, and he, told me his side of the story about how you contacted him and you guys got to voice against each other. But I'd love to hear it from your side, from your perspective.
Yeah, there was an episode in Dragon Ball Super. You guys may or may not remember it. Those of you who haven't watched Super or don't care about this show, there was an episode in Super that where Vegeta gets covered in this purple goo and then ends up having to fight a clone of himself, right? And it's an otherwise, I'm sorry, Toya, it was an otherwise boring episode. It wasn't meaningful. You knew that Vegeta wasn't going to die. There was no threat at all. And I was trying to think of something that would make it more interesting, and I thought, heck, why not? I should call up Brian Drummond and have him play copy Vegeta, because I copied Vegeta at one point. How ironic would that be? And I thought it'd be a nice thing for people who grew up in those earliest days of just hearing his voice as Vegeta. I thought it'd be a fun thing to bring it back, and I think it worked. And Brian was awesome in it, and that's a one episode of Dragon Ball. You can hear the two Vegeta voices back to back, and I think it made the episode far more special than it could have been.
100%. I think it was such a cool, not only such a meta moment, but a full circle moment, and it was just really cool, and it was very thoughtful of you to reach out and get him involved.
It was a blast, man. And he is just such a he's such an epic dude too. Those guys up in Canada at the Ocean Group back in those early days. They were dubbing and recording a lot of stuff that was coming to America back in those days. They were all mega pros. You can hear Brian Drummond's voice on a ton of stuff that you would never imagine. So.
Oh yeah. So I could sit here and speak to you all day, and I hope one day I do get the opportunity to just sit down and empty my brain. But we have some fans that are already lined up, big fans of all your voices. So we're gonna try to get through as many questions as we can. Unfortunately, if we don't get to you, I do apologize in advance, but you'll have a chance to go down to Christopher's table and meet him after the panel. So step up to the mic, and what's your name and what's your question?
My name is Legato. Wow, this feels weird to be hearing my voice double.
Yeah,
okay.
You get used to it after 20 years or so.
My question is, do you think you and All Might are kind of alike in any ways?
Sure. All Might can only stay powered up for about an hour until he starts vomiting up blood. We have that in common. It never was back in the golden era when I could scream all day and never lose my voice. The other thing that I like to think we have in common is that he's very paternal. And I have two daughters, a Hero and Nova, and this show makes me think about them a lot and what skills I'm trying to pass on to them, or at least making me realize I'm not passing any skills on to them. Until the other day, we all break into Australian accents in the car, and I go, okay, we're fine. They're gonna be all right. They're all right.
It's so awesome. My son, he's 4, and he already knows how to beatbox and break dance and stuff. So it's so great to pass it on and to see it actually start to form into something. And I don't even make him do it; he just does it now. So it's
right.
Really cool.
I think that back from an early age, I used to joke that my daughters were the only kids who actually made reactions with their toys. I was and whenever we read books, I'd always say, okay, what would that sound like if their mouth was open like that? And it was something that was just I would do for fun. I didn't realize I was training them to be voice actors.
Yeah, isn't it? It's just you learn through play.
Right.
It's pretty cool. All right, thank you so much for your question.
Thank you.
All right, hi. What's your name and what's your question?
Hi there. I am not Peter Parker. I'm joking. My name's Kevin Chris. Just gotta say, when I was a kid, there's no one I related more to Vegeta. But I just gotta ask, who do you think would win a fight between Goku and Deku?
Oh wow. Well, if Vegeta were answering, he would say, obviously the little pipsqueak could do it.
Hence why I didn't ask that.
Yeah. So let's see. Goku and here's the thing, it's almost impossible to compare Goku to much of anything because we don't know the limits of his power just yet.
Exactly.
He is a god currently, and Deku's still just a child. Goku clearly has more experience, and he might be the only person a little dumber than Deku. So I take that back. Deku's actually very smart. Yeah, I don't know. I think I think Goku wouldn't also hit a kid either. So it would be a tough fight. It'd be a very difficult fight.
That's true. He never hit Gohan.
Yeah, never would smack Gohan or anything, or his wife.
Very true.
All right, well, thank you so much for your question, not Peter Parker. All right, hi, what's your name and your question?
Hello, I'm Jose Juan, and my question is, I really love the battle between Goku and Majin Vegeta in the Buu Saga.
Me too.
And I was just wondering if you remembered any details of doing Vegeta's voicing during that time.
All I know I can remember from that scene is, first I remember, actually there are a few things I remember. Because we did this so long ago, and I never knew that I would be sitting up on a stage talking about this. So I didn't know I needed to archive these memories. And I already have a bad enough memory. I'm ADHD as it is, and I could barely remember what I did yesterday. But there's a couple of funny moments. I remember doing Vegeta's, Bulma, Trunks, I do this for you speech. And there is a version that's sitting on a hard drive somewhere where it's just, it's like, I do this for you. And yes, like Bulma Trunks, I became more human-like. I forgot what the rest of it was. Like, I found myself becoming human. I bought a George Foreman grill and and I started going to movies with my friends and not even talking with them. And I just went on and on and on and on. I bought a used car recently and realized it's a much better value than buying one new right off the lot. But the best thing about Majin Vegeta in that moment is that it just made me fall in love with Vegeta even more, because firstly he gets to smack Goku around for a change. He tricks Goku and smacks him over the head at the end, which was lovely. And then he makes the ultimate sacrifice that makes everyone love Vegeta. So.
Thank you very much, sir.
Wait. What are you supposed to say, man? I told you earlier how you have to end all your sentences with people.
My name is Jose Juan Castillo, and it was a pleasure meeting you.
Yes. There you go.
That was amazing. All right.
Thank you. Sorry to put you on the spot.
All right, hi, what's your name and what's your question?
Hi.
My name is Ashley, and this is going to be hard. My question to you is, who is your favorite and why is it Zoro? I'm kidding. Which character do you think that you play that you relate to the most as your personal life?
It's hard because there's so many great characters I love for so many different reasons. I can't relate to Vegeta as much because he's just really, really angry. He's very angry, and I don't really ever get that angry. In fact, Sean and I are kind of opposites of one another because I'm more just whatever. I'm more like Piccolo than Vegeta, if anything, because I just sit around in an iceberg and let stuff go by. But I still hear everything. And I love Yami from Black Clover because he's just really funny. He doesn't remember anyone's names, and he likes to take a dump, which is really funny to me. He's the most human of all characters that I play because he's true to himself, and he relaxes, and he even gave one of his teammates some advice not to hold it in, to really just go. If you need to go, don't hold it. It can hurt you. So it's some practical advice finally in an anime, and then Zoro, I've learned really nothing from, actually. Although we both get just as easily lost. I have no sense of direction at all. I was telling someone how I had put directions, and I can't find anywhere unless there's a GPS. I put directions in Google Maps to this place I need to go to. And then there was a moment where I was like, oh, actually, I should probably run home and pick up this stuff that I need before I go to the session. So I put my home address into the maps, and then it was giving me directions, and I was on the phone, and I was just following it, and it at the next street, turn left, and I would go left, and I'd say, at the next street, turn left, and I would turn left, and I'd say, at the next street, turn left, turn left, turn left, turn left, because I'd forgotten that I used Google Maps, and I used Apple Maps, and so one was trying to send me to where I was supposed to go, and one was trying to send me home. And there was about 20 minutes of I feel like I'm going in a circle before I realized that I was going in a circle. So. Good question, though.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hey, step on up, and what's your name? What's your question?
My name is Robert Ramirez. Next time on Dragon Ball Z, find out.
Hey, that was awesome, by the way.
You said that the last time, and I also want to say thank you again for the commemorance to my friend. It was over in San Antonio when you were there.
Of course.
But I want to know which scene from Vegeta that made you need to take a break for more than a week.
Oh, man. All of them. He's so painful. Vegeta as a character is a painful character because just to speak his voice just is hard. Like it's like speaking normally except with a rasp. It's painful. Everything he says hurts because I have to use twice as much freaking air as any other character. So yes, he hurts. All the moments hurt. But I'd say the moment that killed me, the first moment that killed me was that fight against Vegeta, against Frieza, where he thought he was going to win but didn't, which is most of his battles actually. Oddly enough, though, the one character that truly put me out of commission for a week was Raccoon.
Raccoon?
Yeah, because Raccoon, you have to do this thing with your throat, and you hold it back like this.
And these muscles right here got so swollen that I couldn't talk anymore. They just swole up, and I couldn't do anything. There you go. You're welcome.
Thank you.
When he did that little next time on Dragon Ball Z, it reminded me when there used to be wrestling in FSCW. I was the ring announcer as Jimmy Firecracker from Dragon Ball Z. So
Oh, no way.
I was it's Jimmy Firecracker from Dragon Ball Z, and I'd always do this high voice, and it just reminded me of because I'd always go, "What's gonna happen tonight? We'll find out next episode." And it was always I'd always like really try to build it up. Why was there always such a build up in all these episodes? It's just meant to be a cliffhanger or some suspense.
That was it, man. Yeah, you just like I used to tell people, like if you don't like watching Dragon Ball Z, I challenge you to watch like 7 episodes, and if you don't want to watch the 8th one, I'd be surprised. Like it's a cliffhanger. It's a serial plot, and you just keep wanting to watch it. Just started watching One Piece with my daughters.
Wow, it's a commitment.
It is. And I figured, well, they're the people that are going to be around me for the next, however many years. And I figured 10 years from now, we will have gotten to where we are in the series right now. But we watched one episode. I just wanted to see what they'd think. And when it said to be continued at the end, they're like, can we watch one more? And I said, sure. And they said to be continued, and they said, can we watch one more? And I said, absolutely. And then they said, what does the show look like now? And I thought, oh, well, I haven't actually seen any of the footage of the Gear 5 Luffy stuff. So I skipped all the way to that. And I'm like, okay, that was the weirdest moment to skip to because it was bizarre. And I kept going, okay, kids, this is not what the rest of the show looks like. People's eyes don't pop out of their body like this all the time. Have you all seen that scene that I'm talking about? I think it's my understanding they actually brought in some like Warner Brothers or Hanna-Barbera animators or something to do that scene.
That's cool.
Because it's really, really bonkers. It looks like Wile E. Coyote
Like
and
a Tex Avery type vibe.
Exactly.
All right. Hey, what's your name? What's your question?
Hi, my name is Elena, and what's your favorite All Might blooper?
Oh, my blooper. I mean, I don't make any mistakes, so it's very hard for me to think of a blooper. Shoot. Man, if Colleen were here, she might remember, but I, for the life of me, can't remember any. Shoot. If I think about it later, I will just blurt it out because it'll be in the back of my brain for the rest of time. But the funniest blooper that happened to me was a really weird one. It was in Dragon Ball Super, and I'd come in to record my Yamcha part, and it was one of those many times in Dragon Ball or any other anime you watch where all the characters talk in unison. And the line was, he said what? Question mark, question mark, question mark, exclamation point, exclamation point. And the only person who had recorded so far was Mike McFarlane, who plays Master Roshi. And so I'm setting up for the line. It's like beep, beep, beep. And I'm supposed to listen to his and then repeat it, just copy it so they can slide it over and stack them on top of one another. So again, the lines, he said what? It's beep, beep, beep. I hear Mike go, "He said what?" And it was the wrong read. Like, it's so wrong that I froze for a minute. And I go, "What? Who let him record that?" And they go, "We're just kidding, Chris." I'm like, it hurt my brain so hard. I lost all functionality because it was like the easiest hanging fruit of a line to speak correctly, and he said it exactly the wrong way. They inflected it perfectly wrong, and it was perfect.
It's always interesting when you're doing voice acting, and because I do it as well, but you don't get to hear what they did beforehand, so you don't know exactly what inflection to put into the lines, and you're just hoping that they match up, because you're right, it can be weird when you don't have the wrong energy.
Yeah, it was. I can't even explain it to you. Like, it was the opposite of what I was wanting to hear, and it was bad.
He said what?
He was like, "He said what?" I mean, that's not what you would say. All right, sorry.
No, that's fine. Thank you so much for your question. All right, hi, what's your name and what's your question?
Hello, my name is Jalen, and my question for you is, if you had to choose between the top 4 voices to be your one best friend, you got All Might, Vegeta, Zoro, and Piccolo. If you had to choose one, which one would you choose to be your best friend?
To my best friend. Well, Vegeta would not be a great best friend. So we can already rule him out. Let's see. Piccolo, I mean, if you want to relax, I guess he's very loyal, and he'll pick your kids up at school, which is kind of cool. What were the other ones? It was
All Might and Zoro.
Okay, Zoro. He actually would. I think Zoro would actually be a very, very good hang. He likes to chill. He loves his sake. He's actually a pretty nice dude. I like him. All Might would kind of be fun, but I think it would be hard to be best friends with him because everyone's around him all the time. They always want his autograph. It wouldn't be. But he gets into good places. He gets special treatment at restaurants too. Oh man. I'm going to go with Zoro on this one. Zoro, it's my final answer.
All right. Thank you for your question. Hi, what's your name and what's your question?
Hi, my name's Reese, and my question is, what is the nicest thing you have to say about Sanji?
I mean, he's in the show. And he's lucky. I think that's positive, right? He's still in it. Someone felt bad enough for him to leave him in the show, I guess.
All right, that's a great answer. And
By the
thank
way,
you for a question.
At the beginning of this panel, I tried to mix up the auto text, whatever, the captioning. And I've realized I'm so tired because it's the very end of a very long weekend that I think I'm doing the same thing. I'm sure it can't keep up with all of my mumbling that's happening in this panel anyway. Carry on.
All right. Well, thank you for your question. And go ahead and step on up. What's your name and what's your question?
Hey, my name is John, and I don't know if this is a question, but can you do your best Gallic gun?
It is a question, and I can. Gallic gun! That wasn't my best one, but it was one. It's the best one I could do right now.
All right. Go ahead and what's your name and what's your question?
Hey, my name's Rahima, and my question is, speaking of Yami and his words of wisdom, can we hear a Black Bull's catchphrase from him?
Oh, okay. He gets to make up the Black Bull's catchphrase?
Push past your limits.
Oh, I thought you were saying he gets to make up his own. Because I doubt that. I don't know if that was his catchphrase. His would be like, poop more. No. Push past your limits right here, right now. There you go.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, we got a little bit of time left here, so we're gonna lightning round, try to rapid fire through as many as we can. But once again, if we don't get a chance for everyone to answer the question, you can go visit him down at his table. Hi, what's your name and your question?
Hi, I'm Lucy.
Hi, Lucy.
So with a list of credits as large as yours, I think it's like almost 500. How has it felt to play huge, well-known roles like All Might and Zoro, and then to play almost the opposite, like Arthur Watts from Ruby and Elfman Strauss from Fairy Tail?
It's really cool. People still use me to do stuff. I am so shocked that I've been doing this for so long, and these characters mean so much to people. And I'm just occasionally given these gifts to play these other characters. I didn't audition for Watts. They actually asked me to read. They just asked me to come in and play the character, which was amazing. Who else? Like another role that I got much by pure accident. They called me to be Garland in Final Fantasy, which was bonkers. And this was like 20 years ago. And it's only because I played Alex Louise Armstrong in Fullmetal Alchemist. And it was, thank you, sparkles! It's only because I was the voice of Alex Louise Armstrong, and the Japanese seiyuu was the voice of Garland that they just called me in to do it. Another thing I got called in to do randomly was Vaccine Man in the very first episode of One Punch Man, which is there's just a lot of I've just been super lucky, and I don't know, it feels really darn good. Thanks.
Thank you. Me and my sister are huge Ruby fans.
Oh, me too.
All right, hi. Your name and your question, please.
My name is Aislinn, and my question is, what was it like voice acting on Ruby?
It was awful. It wasn't. I mean, I don't really like the show very much. You must be her sister. It was awesome. Working on Ruby was great. It's a different experience than working on a lot of anime because with Ruby, they don't have the animation done first. It's kind of partially like a prelay where most of the actors are in the room at one time. Except in their case, they just do one actor at a time. But we got to be with a lot of the creators and the writers in the room at the time. And it's a fun experience because the writing is wonderful. The directors of Ruby really know what they're doing. The creators really know what they want. And I forgot what his name is. I just went Miles, I think is his name. I don't think he's with Rooster Teeth anymore, but he used to read opposite of you, and he was such a good scene partner to have reading the opposite lines that it really helped, I think, the performance in that one.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your question. All right, we have enough time for just a few more here. So go ahead and what's your name and your question, please?
Hi, my name is Hugo. I was just wondering, what's your favorite Dragon Ball movie?
Actually, this is probably a lame answer, but Dragon Ball Superhero is my favorite movie because it was the most recent one. Piccolo got to finally do what he's always been meant to do, which is get more powerful. Gohan got his glow up finally. And a close second would be the Broly movie because that was just the most epic fight I've ever seen.
It was so good.
Incredible.
All right. And this is going to be our last question here. But if you did not get a chance to ask your question, don't go anywhere because we're going to take a stage selfie and you're going to be as close to us as possible. So you'll be in the front row. Okay, go ahead with your final question.
Right. Do you know what? How about this? Why don't we do just a few more? They can do a few more after that.
Sounds good. Let's do a few more then.
All right.
Hi, hello. My name is Yair Guerrero. I actually met you around 4 years ago in the Galleria Mall in Dallas.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Do you remember what happened that day?
Yes, I was actually around the second floor just looking around until I saw you with one of them famous hats you wear every day.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's him. So I followed you for 10 minutes until we both went into a store and you... So we took a picture.
Yeah, there was a while where I lived right next to the Galleria because a house was getting remodeled, and so I would go there and just walk around occasionally. I'd take my kids there, and this is basically our neighborhood that we'd walk around.
Yeah. But
good seeing you again.
Yeah. My question is, could you give me a 20-second conversation between Vegeta and All Might?
Sure. 20 seconds, huh? All right.
Or 30.
Here we go. 30 seconds on the clock. And go.
Well, who are you, Shorty?
I hate you. Bye. And that'd be it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your question. All right, hi. You naming your question?
Hello, my name is Brianna, and my question is, well, I know that you and Monica, the voice actor who plays Bulma, and the one who plays Yona and Yona the Dawn, do a lot of like relationship dynamics together. So I kind of want to know what, from your dynamics working in as Vegeta and Bulma and Hawks and Yona, how did working on those teach you a little bit about relationships?
Oh, wow. That's a deep question. Oh, man. I wasn't prepared for that. I was just prepared to make fart jokes all day.
Sorry.
It's okay. Man, when I'm working on these shows, I'm thinking less about what I'm learning and trying to learn more about what they experience in these shows. And what I love about working with Monica is that she's so talented that I know if I hear her in the pre-roll, if her voice has already been recorded, I know that it's going to be a great scene because she's already done it. She's a master. Monica is seriously one of the best of all time. She's the greatest. Like Colleen Klinkenbeard, Lucy Christian, those three are like literally I think the top dubbers in the game. I mean, they're incredible. And I don't know, Yona the Dawn, if it taught me anything about relationships, it's don't expect them to last forever because you might not get a season 2. Sorry.
That was a good one, though.
All right, thank you so much for your question. Hi, what's your name and what's your question?
Hi, I'm Josh from San Antonio.
Hi, Josh.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
You've done so many iconic roles from Yu Hakusho, My Hero Academia. You've done a lot of work. When is it like for Dragon Ball, for instance? When did you know, like, wow, we're working on something special here that's lasted the test of time?
At the time when I started working on Dragon Ball, I didn't know anything about Dragon Ball, and unfortunately, neither did the company I was working for. They didn't know a lot because there was no internet. You couldn't like look up Wikipedia or anything like that to figure out like what was what. There was no internet hardly. Internet was there, and if you wanted to download an email, you had to wait a few minutes. It was just a really slow time for the internet.
Yeah, if somebody picks up the phone, it's a wrap. It's like,
Oh, man, come on. I was trying to download a picture. I spent all night downloading this photograph. So I didn't really know much about the series at all. I remember going in and saying, "Who's this guy?" And they go, "Oh, that's Goku." I'm like, "Okay, what about the blonde one there?" "Oh, that's also Goku, right?" I'm like, "That doesn't make sense." He goes, "Well, they did transform they get different color hair." I'm like, "Oh, that's neat." I'm like, "Well, who's the small one?" "Well, that's also Goku." It's like, "But they're in the same show." Like, "Well, he's in a show later because he gets turned into a child." So. We worked kind of in a vacuum for Dragon Ball. We were just in this little tiny bank building in North Richland Hills, Texas. It was just like a crappy little area next to Burleson or something. And we didn't know that the shows were affecting anyone the way they were. And I think the first time I really felt it was when it was the Battle of Gods movie. I mean, I know that's a long time. But the Battle of Gods movie had some of the Japanese cast came to it, and a lot of the Japanese producers and directors and people from Toei. And when they came up to us and said, "We really appreciate the work you've done. You really are the voices of these characters in English," that really meant a lot to me, because before then, I always just thought we were just an English stamp on a Japanese product. We were just the English DVD option, right? And for them to actually acknowledge us as those characters, that was really profoundly impactful to me. It really made me realize that what we were doing was so big that even the people who made it appreciated it. So,
thank you.
All right, thank you. And hi, what's your name and what's your question?
Hey, my name's Paul, and it's I wanted to say that I met you when I was like 12, I think. I met you when I was like 12, and this is surreal for me. I didn't even know you were going to be. I didn't know what this was until I just came across GalaxyCon, and I'm so happy to.
Good to see you again. By the way.
Good to see you again.
You've really grown.
No, just like this. I'm sure you hear this all the time, and I'm sure everybody here can feel the same way. But you are responsible for so much enjoyment and happiness in my life that it's incredible to see you here again, and all these emotions and feelings are coming up again. And I just want to say thank you for being just one of the greatest people, one of the greatest voices that I was fortunate enough to live in the generation that you'd be around too. So thank you for that. You know, I'm just saying, you actually signed a deck of cards for me and a poster, and that stuff traveled with me to college and to today. And it's one of the few things I share with people when they come to my house. I'm like, hey, do you know what Dragon Ball Z is? And they say no. And then I say, well, this is the voice actor of Vegeta. He's one of my favorite characters, and I always show that to them. If I had known you were going to be here, I would have brought it. But you know, so
where did I see you? Where was that?
It was in Dallas. It was some comic book shop, and I was a kid, and my buddy said, hey, you want to go see the voice of Vegeta? And I was like, I didn't know people did voices. So, you know.
I was the same way. When I was a kid, I just thought the voices came with the show.
All I knew was from Dragon Ball Z AMVs from back in the day. You know those AMVs at Lincoln Park? And
right.
Yeah. I was like, oh, that seems cool. And Dragon Ball Z literally changed everything for me, you know, creatively. So it's not much of a question. It's just cool to see you, and I'm glad you're doing well.
Thank you so much. Wow.
Yeah.
You know, people come up to me all the time and they say, I work out to your voice, and
I don't do all that.
You're not saying that, but they say I work out to your voice. I work out to your voice, and I wish that would work as well on me. But I wish I had a recording of you saying that, so I could just listen to that whenever I want to. Like that was awesome. Thank you. That was really kind.
We'll get the AV guys to just
all right, good.
Get the soundbite for you.
Hey, AV guys, capture that.
Get on it. All right.
Nice to meet you.
How many more do you want to do here?
I mean, let's. How many more do we have left? Let's just get to the end of the line. Let's make it quick, I guess.
All right. So lightning round.
Hi, I'm Clarissa, and I live under a rock because I just found out that the crossover special of One Piece Dragon Ball Toriko was been dubbed.
Yes.
I did. How long has that been? I didn't know.
I think I dubbed it this year, so it can't have been out for too long.
Okay, so my question is, because in one of the scenes, it's just you never get to see the fight. It's a fight between Vegeta, Zoro, and whatever the other guy is, and I want to know who you think will win.
Vegeta would win only because Zoro's a bit lazy and Vegeta would never give up. Although Zoro would never give up. Crap. Why do you ask me these questions? Vegeta's a god. That's it. I mean, and he's been around longer. He's older, experience, I suppose. Although One Piece does feel like it's about 1,000 years long. So.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. All right, come on up. What's your name and your question?
Hi, my name is Gabe, and I was wondering, what was your favorite food?
What was and still is my favorite food is Japanese cuisine called shabu shabu. Have you guys ever had shabu shabu? It is freaking amazing. It is a type of Japanese cuisine. They'll serve it a lot of times at lunch because it's a very quick thing that they can serve. They take really good cuts of meat and they freeze it, and then they slice it like as thin as humanly possible. And then you sit in front of a pot of boiling water and you dip the meat in boiling water, and it just immediately cooks it. And they swish it in some sauce, put on rice, and eat it. That's still my favorite. If you guys ever come to Dallas, there's a place called Yoshi Shabu Shabu, and it's like the only authentic shabu shabu place I've been to outside of Japan. So,
sounds great. All right. Hi, what's your name and your question?
My name is Gabrielle, and I was wondering if All Might tended to approach you with a piece of his hair and said, eat it, what would you do?
No way. No way. I've oftentimes told kids that when I've written, eat my hair. I'm like, but don't, seriously. If an adult comes to you and says, eat my hair, it'll give you powers, you need to find an adult quickly and call the police.
Also, I would like to say that your voice work is amazing.
But thank you, man. This is an awesome panel.
All right. Hey, what's your name and your question?
Hi, my name's Gabriel, and my question is, what was your favorite part about playing Vegeta?
That he's still here, and that he's better than Goku. He's a better character, I'll say it. He's more rounded. He gets Bulma. He gets Trunks. Like, he's got everything you could possibly want as an anime character. And he also has a best friend who he wants to kill. So he's got everything. I love Vegeta. He's amazing.
Thank you.
Frenemies. All right. Hey, what's your name? What's your question?
Hi, my name. Wait, do it.
Yeah, do it.
Go ahead. Go for it.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Luke, and I was wondering what you recommend for voice acting because I want to become a voice actor like you.
Awesome. Okay. That's a very good question. And thank you for asking it. And the fact that you're asking it at your age is probably a good thing. I imagine you're about the same age as maybe Zach Aguilar, I guess. I'm kidding. Zach Aguilar is the voice of Tanjiro, and I always make fun of him being really young. So my best advice to you would be to study acting, performance, and also search inside yourself to decide what it is that makes you really want to be a voice actor. Because some people want to be a voice actor because they just like anime a lot. And so in that case, I would say try to get involved in anything in the anime industry. Some people do it because they just want to go to conventions and be famous. And I say just be an influencer, like start streaming on TikTok right away. But I think the core of voice acting and the thing that will carry on throughout the many years is still the art of performance and acting. Because with AI coming around, I think a lot of the entry-level jobs in voice acting are going to start going away. All those jobs that I got that paid me really almost nothing were great for me because it helped hone my craft and helped me hone my skills to become a better actor and a better voice person. And so if you can find a community of people that you want to create things with and make voices with and train with, that would be the best possible thing. Because the one thing the computers won't be able to do just yet is be creative enough to act better than great actors. Because the great actors bring something that, heck, even humans can't even duplicate sometimes. So study acting, or my other bit of advice I give to anyone who wants to get into acting is be super diverse. And what I mean by that is do everything. When I was growing up, what I would do is just tell people I knew how to do anything, which can be dangerous. And then you just figure out how to do it really quickly and better than anybody else, right? So learn audio editing, video editing, learn as much as you can, because the people who are getting into voice acting right now are really studied, and they've trained, and they know what they want. And there's plenty of time for you to do it. Good luck. I hope to work with you soon.
Wow. Thank you for your question. All right, we have 3 questions left. Hi, what's your name and what's your question?
Hello, my name is Tanner. Huge fan of your voice work. My question is, what's one of your favorite scenes that you voiced as All Might?
Oh, man. There's so many. I loved all of the scenes in the first few episodes, obviously, where he's giving Midoriya his powers. I loved United States of Smash, might be one of the best scenes I've ever been involved in my entire life. And I also there's a scene if I just want to stay current a little bit, there's a scene in the most recent season of My Hero Academia where All Might is pleading for Midoriya to relax, to take a break, and don't overexert himself. And that was just so heartbreaking. And that show, My Hero Academia, really flexes my tear muscles, because I just cry like a baby when I'm recording that show. And any of those moments are precious to me.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, hey, your name and your question.
Hi, my name is Katrina. Well, also, I just want to say I am a huge Dragon Ball fan. My brothers actually got me into it when I was 6, so I grew up watching it with them a lot. But it's still one of my favorite animes aside from My Hero Academia. But my brother also he's currently working on his own anime, and I immediately asked him if I could be a voice actor in his anime whenever it comes out. So I just wanted to ask you, as a professional voice actor, what are some tips for someone who wants to become a voice actor but has done acting in like school? Because I've done acting in middle school, so I kind of have acting experience. But what's some tips for voice acting? Because I know they're kind of different, but also kind of similar.
Sure. And I understand it's a hard question to ask because there's a lot of elements to it.
Yeah.
My advice to you is that if you don't feel silly doing it, then you're not doing it correctly. Like if you aren't standing in a weird way, I recommend you never sit. Don't ever sit when you're acting unless you're injured. Let's see. The advice I gave to all the new people that worked with me on Dragon Ball, because as I said, we had no money ever. And so we had to, I had to train a lot of new people who were just working on it. And my advice would be to just really throw yourself out there. Do it all, like, you have to get rid of all your ego. You have to get rid of all your fear and just do it. You have to go for it. Because the minute, and I even tell experienced actors that are getting one of their first gigs, when they'll come into the studio for their first session, I'll sometimes call them if I know it's one of their first sessions and say, look, clients sometimes know what they want, but most of the time they really don't. Like, even the director might not know exactly what they want. So if you come into a session and you really, really embody what you want to do, if you commit to it and you sell them on it, they actually will feel better about what you're doing than if you come in going like, is that okay? Is this what you like? Is it, I don't know. I could maybe do it differently. If you really just come in and really strongly commit to it, that's the best possible thing you can do.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
All right, and this is our final question. So hi, what's your name and what's your question?
Hi, my name is Logan, and which one of Zoro's swords are your favorite?
Oh, Enma is my favorite of his swords because it's the new shiny. And I just love the difficult relationship he has with that sword. I like it. I mean, Shushui would be probably a close second, but Enma is by far my favorite.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks for your question, and thank you everyone for your questions. I'm really amazed we got to the end of the line, so thank you for being so gracious with your time, Chris. We appreciate you. You're going to be at your table for the rest of the day?
I will. I don't know how much longer the event's going to be open, but if you still want to come by, you're welcome to. Thank you all for coming. This is actually a really fun, intimate panel. It didn't feel overwhelming. I hope you all were cool with it because I was super relaxed.
No, this has been amazing. Once more, give it up for Christopher Sabat, everyone.